Good morning for everyone. My name is Keijo Varis, and I'm from Finland, from Turku University of Applied Sciences, Finland. Last year, in 2023, I participated Uniglobe's global conference in Kathmandu, but unfortunately this year I can't be there because I need to go to another conference to Abu Dhabi, to United Arab Emirates, with the India Institute of Directors, which lifetime member I am. But it's nice to be here online via Zoom. We recorded session, we recorded video. Many greetings to great Professor Radhe Bradham and to Rector Bistra and to Decan of Pokhara University, Deyarai Thakal, and all of you participants and students there in Nepal. Maybe I share my screen a bit so I have some message for you here. So I open my PowerPoint's presentation and you can follow it. At first, I want to tell you what is Finland. Finland, here is my picture. And actually, in this video, I have some good news for you, some suggestions for success strategies for Nepal, which I have discovered during my last visit to Nepal, to Kathmandu. But first, a few words about Finland. Finland is located in Northern Europe. It is part of European Union. We have only 5.6 million inhabitants, but we have a lot of forests and lakes, almost 200,000 lakes and 7,500 islands. And this is the typical picture from the lake area of Finland. Its capital, our capital is Helsinki. We are a republic, so we have president, and we have long summers, not long summers, but long winters and short summers. And this is the typical picture at the moment in Finland, with a lot of snow. But despite of that we have 5 or 6 long winter months, in the eastern coast of Finland last year was built this kind of cruiser ship. And by the way, this was and is the largest cruise ship. Its name is the Icon of Seas. It was built for Royal Caribbean Corporation to USA. They use this in Atlantic Ocean and in everywhere in the world, and those departures start from somewhere from Miami, from Florida. And by the way, this is the picture outside of the ship, and this is from the inside of the ship, and this is the class seal of the ceiling of the ship, and this space is quite a big. The ship has 20 decks, that means 20 floors, so it is quite high. It has almost 3,000 cabins. It can take almost 8,000 passengers and more than 2,000 crew members. So what are my good news for Nepal? In conference in 2023 in Kathmandu, I spoke about what is strategic thinking and for what we needed. I spoke about the same subject in Delhi a few years before I came to Nepal, Kathmandu. And I spoke it also last year on October, 18th of October, at India Institute of Directors Global Conference in London. But on April 2023 in Kathmandu at Unigoble College Global Conference, when I spoke to and with young people, I realized that quite many of young people wanted to move abroad and have international career outside of Nepal. But at this moment now, I encourage you young people to stay in Nepal, because you have a lot of opportunities in Nepal. And I realized that For example, Nepal has great potential for electricity. You can build power plants for your mountains, which come for your rivers, which come from your mountains, high mountains, and Nepal can produce clean electricity with those power stations and sell that electricity to India, which needs clean electricity a lot. Also, agriculture is potential for Nepal, and also education for agricultural professions. And also the internet has reduced the importance of physical location, and you can create worldwide reputation in science and also in business all over the world, even in and from remote areas like Nepal or from Finland. For example, my papers with my students have been read in ResearchGate or from ResearchGate in 85 countries, and people from 63 disciplines have read them, and that's why the location is nowadays not important. And many Western companies want to reduce the political and logistical risks associated with China and move their production to smaller countries such as Nepal. So I see that Nepal have a lot of potential for young people and for companies, and you will have a great future if you can utilize these opportunities. And I based this claim on theory. And a small country between two powerful countries can put these more powerful two countries to compete with each others. So number 3 is enough. 3 is enough. And there is some research based on that. And those research come from mainly from sociological studies. And for example, George Schimmel has studied and written this kind of article like number of members as determining the sociological form of the group. It is quite an old article from 1902, and also Granovetter has written articles about social structure and embeddedness, and also about networks and about the strength of weak ties. And I based my ideas on these articles, which you can later read. So, and also these people, Paget and Ansel, has written about the family of Medici. The Medici family was powerful Florence family from the 13th century to the 18th century. The family includes, among other things, 3 popes, several rulers of Florence and Tuscany, and later members of the French royal house. The family came from modest circumstances, but rose in the 15th century to power, very important power and most influential family in Florence, and later it became one of the officially ruling families of the whole Italy and also in many parts of Europe. The wealthiest and the best-known members of Medici family earned their actual life careers, fortunes through trade, especially cloth trade and banking. The Medici Bank was one of the most prestigious and successful banks in Europe for a long time, and Medici had banking activities in Italy, in Geneva and London, in Bruges in Flanders. However, most of the actions took place in Italy. And how they came into power. So it is explained in the American Journal of Sociology. So here we have family structures, we have certain families, and here we have another families. And Medici succeeded to connect these families. And you can think about that, for example, between Nepal, you have China and India. And you can do the same in Nepal, like Medicis did. You can build connections towards India and towards China and benefit both of those countries. And so here is said that political and friendship block model structure. So Medicis were in the middle. So they connected these important families and because they were in the center of information flows, they got power a lot. So you can think, for example, Nepal, you are between India and China, and you can do the same in science and in everything. I give you another example. Here you have Nepal, and here you have China, and here you have India. And there is a country, Uzbekistan. And both China and India wants to cooperate with it. The likely reason is its geographical location between East and the West. And what they have done, they have, Samarkand State University have cooperation agreements between Uzbekistan and Chinese universities. But they have also cooperation agreements with India, and they have established joint Center for Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning between Uzbekistan and India. So these are current examples how also Nepal, its universities, its companies, and its people, also young people, can do. Thank you very much for giving this great chance to talk to you and with you, and have a joyful conference and successful conference. Thank you very much, and let's see later, maybe in the year 2025. Goodbye.